What's up, you guys? I ran across this morning. I don't know if y'all heard what I just said because it just started counting. But what's up, you guys? I ran across this morning, and I want to talk about this. I'm gonna do this maybe in two parts. I don't know. It depends on how long it runs. But I want to talk about this because this is this is wild, to say the least. But to say the most, this actually explains a lot of stuff. I'm not saying I 100% believe it, but I really would like to get you guys' opinions on this as well. So let me know what you guys think about this. All right.
Welcome to a United Network special report from the Office of the Guardian, myself, Kimberly Gogan. This report is perhaps the most important announcement to ever take place in the history of the planet, if not the multiverse. We have the official end to two major covenants, which have greatly affected humanity for many millennia. Firstly, the covenant of Nefertiti, which gave control over the, quote, angels and demons to the evil empire known as the Deep State or the Order. Their mission was to maintain the balance of both forces here on planet Earth. However, they found more power, control, and freedom from the demonic forces, and over time, due to the breaking the angelic side of the covenant by committing at least one, if not many, of the 7 deadly sins, the angels left them.
Now, you know what's wild is she says that there were people here to hold the balance. And then after breaking the covenant, the angels left them. Now, honestly, I ain't even gonna hold you. That really do sound like in the Bible the story of Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? They got the boot. You know, I really, like I tell you all the time, I do think they be trying to tell us this kind of stuff without telling us this kind of stuff. And, you know, I really want you guys to understand that I don't know this person. I told you, I just found this video today. So I really want you guys to, you know what I'm saying? Not just think with your ears, but think with your heart. What do your intuition tell you? You know, while I go through this video. I do think I want to make other videos off of this video, but I need you guys to really like listen to what she's saying, because it is some truth in here. I'm not saying this is all truth. I'm not saying it's all lies, but some of the things she's saying it sounds like we've been told this over and over and over, and certain things in history, it'll, you know what I'm saying? It kind of lines up. And she doesn't even just talk about history. She talk about some things that's about to go on now.
They became satisfied with their rule in cooperation with the dark side of the multiverse. This led to the creation of soul recycling, advanced technologies, and many other benefits without the restrictions placed by the benevolent creator. The quest for power and control started 3,000 years ago when King Solomon found more unrestricted power came from the demons than the angels. At that point in history, quote, God left him. Solomon had been appointed prior by God to this office, which I now hold. He was the guardian. Our history shows Nefertiti and Solomon did not exist at the same time. This is not true. The dark female figure was the incarnation of Isis, or in real history, the Dark Overlord's bride. The Dark Overlord in biblical terms would be Lucifer or Satan. Solomon would have been considered the incarnation of one of the 7 angels of destiny, Together, they were supposed to create the balance between good and evil in this world, as each had incarnated here many times over.
Now, if you don't know who King Solomon was, King Solomon was, I think, what they also call Jedediah, and he was one of the kings. You know what I'm saying? He was, one of the a monarch in the United Kingdom of Israel, and he was the king who built the first temple in Jerusalem. And let me see. And was he the one who's gonna cut the baby in half, or was that no? I don't think that was. But he was a really wise king, and they said he was a really godly king. And I really don't remember if he turned bad, if history says he turned bad, or I am so sorry with the Bible stories. I'm sorry with the Bible stories. But I know he built the first temple of Jerusalem, and he was very wise. He was a very wise and good man. But and he had, you know what I'm saying? And so they said that he was with God, and Nefertiti was part of the dark forces, so it could be balanced out. And one thing that she's going to say further down, I think I'll address it when she said, but yeah, so just listen, because hold on, I wanted y'all to just think of the fact that she says, you know what I'm saying, King Solomon was for the righteous, and then he decided that it was easier to be bad. So
The course of 75,000 years. The covenant of Nefertiti and God Creator Source agreement with both parties and their descendants remained in place for 3,000 years in our time, or until December 7th, 2018. At the time, they pled to their overlords for an extension.
okay, so pretty much what she's saying is that King Solomon and Nefertiti, that they were the balance. They were a balance, and pretty much they've been doing this for 3,000 years, and they keep coming back. They keep coming back over and over and over again, and they keep the world balanced. But December 7th, 2018, it was time for renewal for this planet, to see if with the source, with God, it was time for renewal. And to see, okay, well, let's keep the balance up, with, and what's crazy is she never, all right, I'm going to stop, because what's wild is that she's talking about they're negotiating with the elites of this world, but who are they? But if they're just humans, like, all right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna play.
The extension for 3 years in our time was granted. Since no negotiation was made with this office before their final deadline, December 7th, 2021, the stay of execution was terminated, and there is no covenant for the line of Solomon to operate with any authority any longer. Now, what does this mean for humanity? This means the Illuminati and all of their societies became defunct, and my guardianship was no longer restricted nor hampered by their efforts. The energy management or human loosh management, to include, but not limited to, the energy exchange systems known as the monetary system, had been fully recalibrated in preparation for abundant energy without control of the money black magic system, which had permeated throughout the multiverse.
Now, I need you guys to understand. I'll remind you, I'm going to say it again. I just found this video this morning. And I need you to understand. She said the money management system, the system is a dark system of energy management. I pretty much pick up on certain things. The money management system, the dark energy system of money management. The elites of the world no longer have control over that. Starting, I believe she said December 7th, 2021. I need you guys to understand that if this is true or if this has some type of truth to it, why do you think they're making the metaverse? They can no longer control this universe. So 2018, y'all, hold on. 2018, 19, 20, 21. Oh, no, because they started preparation for this whole, you know what, way before this. They knew about this a long time ago. Not what she's saying, but I'm saying what we're going through now had started being planned out a long time ago with the first Bush. He was the first one to announce a new world order.
Free trade zones on Mercury were terminated, portals to the Black Sun removed, and many other changes in order to prepare for the second covenant expiration. Include, but not limited to, the energy exchange systems known as the monetary system had been fully recalibrated in preparation for abundant energy without control of the money black magic system, which had permeated throughout the multiverse. Free trade zones on Mercury were terminated, portals to the Black Sun removed, and many other changes in order to prepare for the second covenant expiration.
I need you guys to understand what she just said. Portals to the Black Sun removed. Do you know what the Black Sun is? I don't know how she's saying it in the sense that she's saying it, but do you know another word when she says the Black Sun? I think of Saturn. And you see how they have been doing so much Saturn worship. Like they have been doing so many layers of Saturn worship. This last, I would say, year. No, it started being really, really in our faces when it has been almost a year or two, a year and a half maybe. The black cube, Saturn is a black cube. The black cube, the dark sun. And so yeah.
Lastly, the souls of Isis and the Sephardic realm were returned to God Source, the Creator. The second contract was the ultimate covenant. It was known.
Isis is what she was saying, like Nefertiti in the beginning. How she's saying it was like King Solomon and Nefertiti, how they were the balance of the earth, and she said Nefertiti was just Isis reincarnated, and that they just keep coming back and keep reincarnating and keep coming back to keep the balance on the earth. That's what that when she say Isis returned to the source, she's saying that the elites or here no longer have control over that. All right, I'm gonna let her keep going. Or they're no longer here to protect. Now you see why a lot of elite stuff have statues of Isis and all of that. They weren't worshiping gods of past, if this lady is correct. They were worshiping the dark, because Isis was the dark. They were worshiping the dark that was already here, from what she's saying. This is from the video, from what she's saying. They were showing who they were aligning themselves with, but both sides were from the source. It was a balance. It was here to create a balance. That's just what I'm getting from this and thinking about what's going on in current day.
Known as the covenant of source, which led to the creation of the dark side of the multiverse and its battle with the light. Around 300 million Earth years ago, in our time, this began the terrestrial storm. The terrestrial storm affected the entire multiverse, with very few able to fully escape from its wrath. Many were told by the Dark Overlord and his forces, God doesn't think you are worthy anymore of his love, or you don't have a soul anymore. The lies told by this being of darkness grew, and every being, including humans, had the ability to choose until November 2021, when the battle lines were drawn. Those in the Order of the Black Sun and the Deep State made a decision. Were they informed? Yes. We and myself as guardian chose God, or the side of the light. They chose darkness. There was no going back, no canceling, and the payment for failure was to be your life. The covenant was known here on earth as the gales of indiscretion. This covenant renewed automatically every 1,008 years on earth unless it met with opposition, a firm covenant with our Creator, and a declaration by the guardian, myself, this planet, and all its inhabitants belongs to God, in a firm agreement not to violate any of the deadly sins. Moreover, many planets made a commitment to peace. Many races and many guardians did the same. The archivists of every nation were notified via the Hall of Records. They sent out warnings to militaries, governments.
This is starting to make me think about what is really in Antarctica. Why is it that everybody on this planet can go to war, but then can come together to keep Antarctica, private? She says that they made a covenant. This is the big covenant. The other one was another covenant. This is the big covenant with source. And they pretty much had to choose a side. And they chose their side. And let me go back. Hold on, let me see something.
Of indiscretion. This covenant renewed automatically every 1,008 years on earth unless many were told by the Dark Overlord and his forces, God doesn't think you are worthy anymore of his love, or you don't have a soul anymore. The lies told by this being of darkness grew, and every being, including humans, had the ability to choose until November 2021, when the battle lines were drawn. Those in the Order of the Black Sun and the Deep State made a decision.
That's what it is. The Order of the Black Sun. Saturn worship again. And the Deep State. And it's so weird because we are really talking about Saturn worship. I have really been talking about how they've been doing a lot of Saturn worship.
Were they informed? Yes. We and myself as guardian chose God, or the side of the light. They chose darkness. There was no going back, no canceling, and the payment for failure was to be your life. The covenant was known here on earth as the gales of indiscretion. This covenant renewed automatically every 1,008 years on earth unless it met with opposition, a firm covenant with our Creator, and a declaration by the guardian, myself, this planet, and all its inhabitants belongs to God, in a firm agreement not to violate any of the deadly sins. Moreover, many planets made a commitment to peace. Many races and many guardians did the same. The archivists of every nation were notified via the Hall of Records. They sent out warnings to militaries, governments, and the entire control structure set up by the former dark controllers that unless we came to terms, the expiration of the entire structure would crumble. None of the elite heeded the warnings. None came to the table. On January 7th, 2022, the entire structure began to crumble. The heads of the order once again lied to their minions and told them there was no expiration of the covenant. From January 7th through Monday the 10th, they proceeded to try to access accounts worldwide. Complete access denied, as they no longer had any access to any management of humanity. The Dark Overlord had returned to source several months ago. They thought there was a hope of a replacement, and they would once again gain access to their beloved demons. No replacement came, no angel of death appointed. His bride Isis also returned back to source, and their lower astral beings slowly wilted away. On the 7th of January 2022, the covenant known as the Gales of Indiscretion was terminated. Moreover, the covenant of source. On the 7th of January 2022, the terrestrial storm finally ended, bringing about the day of reparation. We are now free to begin the restoration of Earth, the beginning of a whole new ecosystem, exactly as nature had intended it, precisely as God, the creator of benevolent source, intended it to be. So what does this mean for humanity in practical terms? The Hall of Records sent expiration and termination notices on Monday to every sector of the Dark Overlord's governances. All Earth secret societies, all...
You know what's weird? Y'all remember that January 6th was the, you know what is that called? Well, you know, when they ran up in the White House. And that's wild. Let me see. I'm trying to think. And you know what's so crazy? You know what's so wild? They said the covenant ended January 7th, right? So most likely that means there was something really big that happened January 7th, but we would never know because it was overshadowed by what happened January 6th. It was so many things that happened on January 6th and before that January 7th would have been just fully engulfed by so many things that we wouldn't have even have seen what had happened, what was going on the next day. And to be completely honest with you, I really wouldn't even be surprised because now if you go back in my videos, it said, I show you the article where it says that, or if it's on my Telegram, well, even it's on both either way if I put it up here. They said that that was planned, that there was people that planned that. Not everybody there, you know what I'm saying, was like paid to be there, but that was literally planned by someone that was in the White House. And that's wild. So I always tell you guys, when something big goes on, try to figure out what's going on behind the scenes.
False religious structures, all governments, all agencies, the laws of sin and death, all precisely as God, the creator of benevolent source, intended it to be. So what does this mean for humanity in practical terms? The Hall of Records sent expiration and termination notices on Monday to every sector of the Dark Overlord's governances. All Earth secret societies, all false religious structures, all governments, all agencies, the laws of sin and death, all control structures completely gone in less than 3 days. All central bank licenses terminated. The United Nations, IMF, World Bank, development banks, Federal Reserve, all reserve banks, and much more gone. So what happens next? What is the way forward? The global peace and restoration.
Don't this sound a little bit like the Great Reset? Don't this sound a little bit like the Great Reset? Wow. All right, you guys. I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to bring back part 2 soon with the rest of it. You know what? No, I'll just do it all in one part. People have short attention spans, though. That's the only reason I want to break it up, but I'll just do it all in one. Y'all pay attention, y'all pay attention. Y'all don't, y'all don't. I don't know what to tell you. Y'all could just listen to it while y'all clean up or something. All right. But, I mean, isn't that something that they already said was going to happen? And then think about it. Who are they? I keep saying, who are they fighting in the water? What's going on? So all of their little beloved demons is turning against them now? You know how they say there's a ring called the Ring of Solomon? Let me see if I can bring it up for you guys. It's a Ring of Solomon, right? I want to show you. And this is where it's really wild, because a lot of this stuff is like coming together kind of crazy. And it's the Seal of Solomon is a signet ring, a tribute to the King Solomon in the medieval mystical traditions from which it developed in parallel within. Hold on. Okay, wait. It's Wikipedia. The Seal of Solomon, Ring of Solomon. Let me see. All right. So it is a spiritual ring which developed in parallel with Islamic Jewish mysticism and in the attribute to and in the Western occultism. It is the predecessor to the Star of David, which become the symbol of Jewish people in modern times. And so the history is the earliest reference to the solemn seal stem from Jewish traditions. This ring was, from my understanding, the different traditions. It says, I'm trying to see. I'm trying to figure out how to tell you guys what exactly it do. Let me see. Because the King of Solomon, they said when you wear the ring of Solomon, you can actually control demons. Oh, this is the Ring of Solomon. Let me see. It says that you can actually control demons with this ring if you have it on. You see what I'm saying? And so, which is wild. And that's crazy because she's saying that King Solomon, she's saying it now. They're like, yo, y'all on y'all own. I don't know what to tell y'all. We going back to source. So
Restoration Consortium of member states has taken the place of the United Nations.
Hold on,
unlike the United Nations, each country.
Hold on, because I be messing up sometimes. I don't press that little I don't press the little share system audio joint, and y'all just be looking at her little lips move. Don't nobody got time for that. Hold on, let me go back a little bit.
Nations, IMF, World Bank, development banks, Federal Reserve, all reserve banks, and much more gone. So what happens next? What is the way forward? The Global Peace and Restoration Consortium of member states has taken the place of the United Nations. Unlike the United Nations, each country participates. There will be no ambassador appointments, no control system. The GIA will have appointed officials from every nation, which will replace the Security Council, not just a select few. Each nation will have a council or an assembly. Everyone and anyone is free to join as a member, to have a voice, to make proposals of their needs in respective areas. A community built on mutual respect, not only for each other, but for all life. The GPRC facilities will be built in several nations of the world and be accessible to all. The Scientific Research and Development Consortium is responsible for testing and creating new technologies as we move forward in all areas of development. Fuel, energy, health, transportation, and much more. All scientists and industrialists are welcome to join the consortium. This division is run in a cooperative structure, so there is no more need for a patent system. Temporarily, Life Force Enforcement will be acting as the world's military and enforcement unit under my command as official ground command. Currently, the world's military leaders, under the Order of the Black Sun, have chosen their path. I have been informed by the high-ranking officials they are not interested in working with the assemblies and the GPRC, therefore they have been replaced. If in the future,
This sounds a lot like the New World Order. I ain't even gonna swear to you guys. It sounds a lot like the New World Order and the Great Reset. And it was another one. The one it might have been. I think it might have been a Great Reset. They had the different. Oh yeah, this sounds a lot like it. And then it says the people who don't want to go along with it, they look at all the people they get taken out. Look at all the people that have stepped down. Look at all the people that stepped down.
the militaries and agencies wish to join the replacement government and protect the citizens of their respective nations, then we will address this issue at that time. NATO, the secret space force, the United Nations peacekeeping forces have also been dissolved. We will not be sharing our advanced weaponry, our defense plans, our time travel, our space travel technologies with any of these groups any longer, nor will they have the support of others whom participated in the past under Project Bluebeam. If they continue to attack humanity with their bioweapons and antiquated missiles and mirror technologies on Mercury, we will retaliate immediately. We are ready. We have prepared for this time. All governments worldwide have been unregistered. This means they can no longer issue treasury notes, government bonds. All budgets will be rejected. National councils and assemblies will replace our current government systems. The national councils will be compiled of state and/or provincial governments. The state and provincial governments will be made up of county, town, and village councils. This is a ground-up approach to government, one for the people and actually by the people. There are currently no registered constitution-weighted governance will no longer be allowed nor accepted. There are no more royals registered as sovereigns. This is a ground-up approach to government, one for the people and actually by the people. There are currently no registered constitution-weighted governance.
Did she say there was no more constitution? I told you guys the constitution got shredded. And she said there are no more royals. Look.
Will no longer be allowed nor accepted. There are no more royals registered as sovereigns within the system. Further,
they're not sovereign within the system. Why? Look, the example for that was it Andrew? Isn't Andrew on trial? And he's really sweating. He's like actually sweating. Like he's really like fighting for his life on trial right now. Is it really breaking down? Is this like, I'm gonna let it play because I'm trying to do this all in one take and I don't want to go over an hour.
Societies like the Jason Society, the Knights of Malta, the Freemasons, the Knights Templar, kings, queens, and so forth have also been dissolved and are no longer sovereign, nor will they have access to any funding. Corporates formed under any of these orders will also begin to be dissolved. The Global Health and Wellness Consortium has replaced the World Health Organization. This group will be issuing life force assurance to all of humanity. No longer will people need to pay for any health or wellness-related concerns. The focus shall be on removing chemicals and harmful substances from the air, water, and food, innovative 3D organ printing, alternative pain relief, frequency and Higgs boson particle machines with etherical and plasma healing known to you as medbeds, the eradication of man-made diseases manufactured as bioweapons, and population control by those who chose the dark side, agencies, our military, and other Black Sun-run laboratories. New research and development centers will replace all biological weapons centers in every nation and shared internationally through the Science and Development Consortium. The financial system will revert to an asset-based system. Debt instruments are only valid during wartime, and we are at peace and will keep this peace at all costs. This is our commitment. It is also your commitment. All exchanges of money shall remain in place for a period of 10 to 15 years. Once humanity rises beyond a slave mentality, we can convert to other means of exchange in the future. News channels and information shall be available for all. Assemblies are now required to broadcast weekly press conferences to be shared with everyone. The first annual meeting of the GPRC will be the end of March.
Once humanity raises above the slave mentality.
Each division will be discussing initiatives for the year, structuring nations, peace agreements, and global efforts. We are expecting these meetings to take place virtually due to the current circumstances forced on us by the dying deep state. This is just a glimpse of the way forward. I have a plan. We have a plan. The world waits no longer for elite dark orders. We have won the longest war in human history, if not the history of the universe. The rest of our lives begins today. The most precious gift we can give to ourselves, our neighbors, our nations, and each other is time. Choose wisely how you spend it. Lastly, our regular Monday through Friday news shall resume next week. We apologize for the recent lack of reporting. We've been quite busy.
All right, so I want to let you guys, I want you guys to let me know what you think about this down below. I am going to put the link to that down below. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. And not only that, did you guys know that Ukraine told Biden that he didn't want Biden to interfere with Russia because they wanted to do peace? And Biden was like, nah, we gonna come over there anyway. Like, what's that? And did you also know that in the United, what is that? I forgot what dang, I really did. I should have wrote it down. But did you know that when all countries came together, I think it was the United Nations, but I forgot what meeting it was. But when all the countries came together and voted that people should have access to food, whether it be free or to pay for it, all countries voted that people should always have access to food. There was only one country that voted that everybody does not deserve access to food, and it was the United States. So, wow, yeah, that's a thing. So, you guys go ahead and give me your thoughts, and I'll be back.